So we'll have a Bhagavatam discussion. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Braja Yasodanandana Braja Yasoda Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Balabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Sam Sundar, Radha Sam Sundar Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Sam, Jaya Radha Sam Sundar, Radha Sam Sundar Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Sam, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Ram Sankirtan ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mantra ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Sambal Bhakti ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Prem Nandi Hari Hari Bol, Jai Ho Shri Shri Radha Sam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankaj Nabhaya Namo Pankaj Maline Namo Pankaj Netraya Namaste Pankajangare Tantrasi Mat Bhagavatam Ki Jai Ki Jai Assemble Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. So we'll continue reading And today we have verse number 22nd. So this verse goes like this. Tavamna sandrashito dhatra dusataram nisititir shatam kalim shatva haram pumsham karnadhara yuvaranam tvam na sandrishto dhatra dustaram nisititrishitam kalim shatva haram pumsham arayuanavarnam Tvamna sandristo dhatra dustaram nistitirsitam kalishatvaharam pumsham kanadhara yuvanavanam Tvamna sadristo dhatra dushataram nitististarsatam kalim shatvaharam pumsham Karnadhara Yuvanavam. So word by word meaning. From your goodness, na unto us. Sadrashitaha. Sadarsitaha. Sadarsitaha. Meeting. Dhatra. Dhatra. By providence. Dustaram. Insurmountable. Nistit. Nistitirshitam. For those desiring to cross over. Okay, Nistaram. Nistaram is the root word. Kalim, the age of Kali. Shatva haram, that which deteriorates the good quality. Pumsham, of a man. Karnadhara, captain. Eva, as. Arnavam, the ocean. Arnavam, ocean. Translation. We think that we have made your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as of the sheep for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being. Purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The age of Kali is very dangerous for the human being. Human life is simply meant for self-realization, but due to this dangerous age, men have completely forgotten the aim of life. In this age, the lifespan will gradually decrease. People will gradually lose their memory, finer sentiments, strength, and better qualities. People will gradually lose their memory, finer sentiments, strength, and better qualities. A list of anomalies for this age is given in the 12th canto of this work. And so this age is very difficult for those who want to utilize this life for self-realization. The people are so busy with sense gratification that they completely forget about self-realization. Out of madness, they frankly say that there is no need for self-realization because they do not realize that this brief life is but a moment on our great journey towards self-realization. The whole system of education is geared to sense gratification. And if a learned man thinks it over, he sees that the children of this age are being intentionally sent to the slaughterhouse of so-called education. Learned man, therefore, must be cautious of this age. And if they at all want to cross over the dangerous ocean of Kali, they must follow the footsteps of the sages of Naimisharanya and accept Srila Sutta Goswami or his bona fide representative as the captain of the ship. The ship is the message of Lord Sri Krishna, in the shape of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Jai. So let me share my slide. Prabhu, can you see the slide?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langatem Girim Yatkirpatadaham Bande Sri Gurum Dinim Tarinim Paramananda Madhvam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nama Vishnu Padayo Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanto Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पश्चात देश तारिणे वंशकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, जगन्नाथ बहादुर सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। So we almost finished chapter 1, question by the sages. We have 22nd verse, and then next Saturday we'll have verse number 23rd, and then after that we are very much done with one chapter. So as you can see, as we are going chapter by chapter, it's giving us a lot of information, a lot of understanding about different element of the bhakti. So today's verse is also a very beautiful verse. Translation of this verse is very, very rich. So this is basically the sages of Naimisharanya. They are sharing their gratitude. They are sharing their appreciation to Shuta Goswami. So what they are saying, we think, the sages are saying, we think that we have met your goodness. Who is your goodness? Shuta Goswami. By the will of providence. Just so that we may accept you as captain of the sea. For those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali. So here we are seeing that devotees, how they are taking deeper shelter of a senior advanced devotee, in this case Sutta Goswami, to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of human being. So this Kali personified deteriorates all the good quality of the human being, because this person Kali has all the bad quality. So whenever there is this person, people carry with their characters, people carry with their values, with their quality. So wherever I go, I have my bad thing around. Wherever you go, you have your good thing around. So that's how it is. We not only as a person, we are the person, but we also have our own characters, our good and bad qualities. So Kali personified has the bad qualities, and we know all those bad qualities that Kali has, and we have been reading it. Verse number 10 very extensively told us about Kali, and a lot of discussion has been about Kali. So Kali deteriorates all the good quality of the human being. Wow. So what I would like to do, first I would like to just summarize the key highlights from the purport, and then after that we'll have outline of the presentation, and then we'll get into the main discussion. So this purport that we just finished reading, the first segment of the purport is talking about it's very difficult to have or to obtain self-realization in this age of Kali. And why it's so? Because the age of Kali is very dangerous for the human being. Wow, it's very dangerous for human being. I don't know if you really think that way. Excuse me. Human life is simply meant for self-realization, but it's very dangerous. It's very, very difficult in this age. But due to the dangerous age, men have completely forgotten the aim of life. Okay, so we have forgotten the aim of life, which is self-realization. The people are so busy with sense gratification that they completely forget about self-realization. So sense gratification has made us forget self-realization. Out of madness, they frankly say that there is no need for self-realization. Human life is a brief moment on our great journey towards self-realization. And I highlighted that word brief moment. And I feel that, that how I came where I am right now today, whatever age I have, I can see that it was like just a snap. And I'm sure that my whole life will go like a just snap. People whom I saw as a youth, as a young man, not knowing what they're going to do in future, so much aspiration and hope. Now they have a gray hair. My hair is also gray. So yes, it's a brief moment. And this brief moment is a moment towards the great journey of self-realization. So then it comes to the point that how we use that time. The whole system of education is geared to sense gratification. Children of this age are being intentionally sent to the slaughterhouse of so-called education. Prabhupada has made this statement so many times throughout his writing. So this modern education is basically slaughterhouse, and we all are product of that slaughterhouse. So we can definitely see that the intelligence that we have got, it has come from that slaughterhouse. Anyway, nothing to criticize, but that's what our understanding is about the modern education. So what is the method? What is the method prescribed for self-realization? If they at all want to cross over the dangerous ocean of Kali, they must follow the footsteps of the sages of Naimisharanya and accept Sri Sita Goswami or his bona fide representative as the captain of the ship. So that was the title of my presentation. And very strong recommendation is made here that if we want to cross over the ocean of Kali, we have to take the shelter of pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. And that will be the theme of our discussion today. The ship is the message of the Lord Sri Krishna in the shape of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, the bona fide Shastras such as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is referred as a boat. And knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna is saying that this Gyan, the Gyan of Supreme Lord, the Gyan of the Param Tattva is boat. It's like boat. So, so those information or the knowledge about the Supreme Lord is presented in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and a devotee can take that knowledge as a boat under the guidance of a bona fide devotee, in this case maybe a spiritual master or Siksha Guru, can cross the ocean of suffering, the ocean of Kali. So very, very clear statement here about the process by which one can cross the ocean of material misery, the suffering. And we can see that two elements are extremely highlighted here or emphasized. One is that the association of devotee, pure devotee. And then the second element is Gyan, the knowledge about the Supreme Lord. So today we are going to very much focus on the first element about the importance and power of the association of the devotee. So outline of this discussion today is that we just summarize the purport, and then we'll just little bit have the introduction, and I just did some of that. Then we'll see some examples, some perfect example of how association can change somebody's life. And then we'll talk about what's the process of receiving the association, how one should receive the association, what should be the mood and attitude to receive association, and then we'll see some of the mercy, some of the very very evident, very very evident or very very obvious mercy of the Supreme Lord, not Supreme Lord, yes, from Supreme Lord to his, to his devotee, and again back to the disciplic succession, and continues to the devotee. So how, from Lord and then his devotees have simplified the process of Krishna consciousness for us in this age of Kali. And then last, we'll summarize that association is need forever. It's not something that we get association at some point, and then after that we are by our own. That never happens. So these are the major kind of theme, and we'll have some information and some discussion around those topics. So as we started, we are still in first chapter, and in this chapter sages are asking questions from Sutta Goswami. The last question, which is in verse number 23, is basically they are asking, so now Lord has departed. So after departure of Lord, where the religion and the principles of the religion is going to take shelter. And that will be the last verse for this chapter. So we are in verse number 22, just one verse behind before we finish this chapter. Okay, so introduction. Krishna manifests his mercy to conditioned soul in a multiple way, in a thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of ways. And one of the reasons that we cannot remember Krishna is, we talked last Saturday, is avidya. The ignorance is very, very dominant factor in our existence that makes us forget Krishna. And due to that ignorance, so many ways Krishna's mercies are coming to us. But since we do not have vision to see that, we do not appreciate how Krishna has given the mercy to us. So Krishna's mercies come in different way. And one way is that Krishna's mercy comes through his holy name, Nam, Krishna, Nam Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukto Avinatva Nam Namino. Avinatva Nam Namino is none different than the person Krishna. So that's one way Krishna sends us his mercy. Also, his mercy comes in the form of prasadam that we receive. It's basically mercy. Krishna's mercy comes when he provides us the opportunity to do the deity worship or sankirtan yagya, or engage ourselves in his service. All of this opportunity comes to the conditioned soul, but due to our conditioning, we give something as a high most priority. And then if that thing is taken care, then I'm going to work on the other aspects of bhakti. And out of all of these mercies, the most powerful mercy is that when Krishna sends a pure devotee, in this case his divine grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, or Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Prabhupada, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Baba Maharaj, Jagannath Das Baba Maharaj, and all the lineage. So that's the basically pinnacle of Lord Mercy when he sends a pure devotee and says that go, and now you teach the message of Krishna consciousness. So getting the opportunity to associate with devotee is a very, 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 very strong, favor of Supreme Lord on the conditioned soul. And the same way, as a conditioned soul, as aspiring devotee, we should receive that association. So that's the basically kind of theme. I'll try to give some example to make the point that how powerful it is for us to associate with devotee in the right attitude. Because we are seeing here that the sages are appreciating Sutta Goswami and saying that this is just the, mercy of the providence that, we are here in front of you. So they are extremely appreciating Sutta Goswami. So in this slide here, I'm just highlighting, and as we say that picture is 1,000 words. Picture is enough, more than 1,000 words. So these pictures itself should tell us that how powerful devotee associations are. And Srimad Bhagavatam is filled with that type of story and examples, and one after another so many association. So here we are seeing that Parikshit Maharaj is taking association of Sutta Goswami, and that basically gave the opportunity for us to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Here is another picture where we are seeing that Naimisaranya, sages of Naimisaranya, they are taking association of Sutta Goswami, and there they are also discussing the you know uh, depth of Bhagavatam, and the mercy and the power of Bhagavatam. And also in this association, sages are asking questions, 6 questions. That's why I had that. And those questions, if we look at, those are not random, just something that they ask. Those are basically the questions that applies to us, that helps us to understand what exactly is the process of bhakti, and what are the elements of it. All these 6 questions are for us to understand that what should be the process in this age of Kali, because they are gathered together to help the soul who are yet to come in the age of Kali. So those are basically direct, instructions that are coming to us. And then here, Vidura is basically taking the association of Maitreya Muni. So this theory association in Bhagavatam, there are, if you read Bhagavatam, you will see sometimes Vidura is talking to Maitreya, sometimes Sukadeva Goswami is talking to Parikshit Maharaj, sometimes Sutta Goswami is talking to sages of Naimisaranya. So this theory association is throughout the Bhagavatam. So I just wanted to highlight that. And then here is a powerful, very, very powerful association where Narad Muni is giving instructions to Vyasdev. And we read in chapter 5 that Vyasdev was very, very sad, and he was not feeling jubilant. He was not feeling very happy, although he has done all the compilation. He has finished the compilation of Vedanta Sutra and Vedas and Puranas and everything, but he was still not feeling happy. Then Narad Muni is coming and saying that you are not feeling happy because you haven't done sufficient elaboration of the Uttam Sloka, which is Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Why? Because in the age of Kali, people will be coming and they will have no intelligence. So this Vedanta Sutra is perfect and Vedas are perfect, but we have to provide something very, very light, very, very easy, so that in Kali Yuga the conditioned soul can take the shelter of devotional service. So that's the instruction basically helped or inspired Vyasdev to write or compile Srimad Bhagavatam. Here is another beautiful picture where we are seeing that Narad Muni himself became Narad Muni by the blessing of the Vedantas. These sages, him and his mother, they served those Vedantas in previous life, and then in next life he got the opportunity to become Narad Muni. And last but not least, here is a beautiful example, beautiful picture of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada meeting with, sorry, my slide just went, meeting with Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj. And that single association is now spread all over the world. And we are here in America, and people all over in globe, they are getting opportunity to become Krishna conscious. So please go deeper into this association and try to appreciate from your bottom of heart that how powerful these associations are, and how this saintly person, either Vidura talking to Maitreya or Sutta Goswami, they are basically setting up a stage. They are just kind of acting as you act in a theater or in a drama for us. So that's their compassion. Prabhupada was not an ordinary person. Ordinary person cannot do that much or as much as Srila Prabhupada did. He was personally sent by Krishna for this age of Kali. So we can really appreciate the association that we get, and we'll talk more about that. So how association manifests, how association comes to us. And I think I had talked about this slide before also, but once again in this context I would like to emphasize that how association comes, how we how the association of the devotee manifests to us by darshan, by just having the darshan of a pure devotee, their mercy manifests on us. And here is the example where Parikshit Maharaj, when he met Sutta Goswami, he's saying that just by seeing you, my consciousness is purified. What about touching your feet? So they are darshan of a pure devotee. And then instructions, the instruction that they give. Sometimes if somebody is saying something, we become very critical, because that's what it is. It's very, very hard in the age of Kali to really surrender ourselves to some senior devotee, or maybe taking somebody as our shiksha guru, or taking somebody as our mentor. Not so-called using the word mentor, but really thinking that, okay, this person is my instructor, this person is my mentor, and I'm going to submit myself to his instructions. This is really, some of these things is very, very difficult. I hear these words a lot, but how these things are practically being implemented is a question. So instructions, and Narad Muni, got the instruction from Vyasdev, and we just talked about that he should compile Srimad Bhagavatam, sung and seva. By serving the pure devotee also, we get their mercy. And here, I'm citing the example of Narad Muni and Bhaktivedanta writing, by his writings. Like we just finished writing of Srila Prabhupada. And last night we were studying about how Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by that inexperienced Brahmin boy. And as I was going through the verses and reading the purport, that the whole context is a very, very complex. It's very, 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 very intricate, pastime. And depends whom you are reading from. Somebody may write in a way that you will feel that the Brahmin boy, whatever he did was right. Somebody else may, write in a way that it will appear that Parikshit Maharaj was right. But 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 I was just, as I was reading the purport one after another, I was just, extremely appreciating Srila Prabhupada, how technically he has presented. He's basically, putting both the points simultaneously. That here, if this way it's done, this is right. Here, this is done, this is right. And then drawing both the line parallel together, and then ultimately he's bringing to the conclusion that yes, ultimately it was desire of the Supreme Lord. And Parikshit Maharaj, as a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, he he received that as a order or as a desire of the Supreme Lord. So reading from, that's the beauty when we read the Shastra from the pure devotee. Because pure devotee, all they have is the welfare of the society, welfare of the common people. So without being biased, they equally present the facts from both sides, and then they come to the conclusion. So when we read the writing of Srila Prabhupada, it should not be compared. That's the reason I made that point. It should not be compared with reading some of the, 7 skill of this, 7 skill of that. And not, it's not like that. Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee, and his writing is for our welfare. If he's saying something, to us, this is for our benefit. And then also, pure devotee, they pray for conditioned soul. So we receive their mercy through the prayers, and also they chastisement. And I don't know how it's possible nowadays to chastise somebody, but we know here is a very beautiful example cited, that Vidura, he chastised Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra appreciated, and he took the chastisement, and he basically renounced. And then last point is basically their pastime, their acharan, their activity. And years and thousands of years to come, still we are inspired by the pastime of Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj, or Srila Prabhupada, or some of our greatest acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, or Haridas Thakur. So by their pastime, they inspire, and they manifest mercy on us. So these are the 7 basically ways devotees' mercy comes to us. So how to basically receive that mercy? And for that, I'm citing a verse here from Canto 11, chapter 11, verse number 25. It says that Satsanga lavdaya bhaktya Mai mam sa upasita Savay me darsitam sadvihir anjasa vindate padam. So this verse is saying that one should do anything and everything to get the association of devotee. Satsanga lavdhaya bhaktaya. Lavdaya means to achieve, to obtain. So to get the mercy, or to get the association of the devotee, one should do everything. One should try their best to get the mercy of a pure devotee. Because what happens is that by that mercy, the seed of the bhakti is transplanted. Okay, so how to basically take the association? The first thing is that when we have good fortune to have the association of the devotee, the first thing is that in that association there should be some faith. Okay, our association should be based upon some faith. Okay, he's a senior devotee or he's a devotee, he is going to tell something that's going to be good for my spiritual life. So faith should be there, and then also there should be some nistha. There should be some nistha with that faith. And if those 2 elements are there, then in that association there will be basically transfer of bhakti. Because all the picture that you saw, there are like 6 examples there. In each association, the foundation is bhakti. The things are happening, they are talking about different pastime, different story, but the theme is bhakti. So I as a human being may have so many faults. You as a human being may have some faults. Maybe you have less than I, but this is external thing. This is external thing. So I may have some demerits. I may have some issue, but what is inherent is that I am also striving to serve, right? Maybe the ignorance is dominant and I'm not able to see that, but the inherent, the baseline is bhakti. Okay, so that is why when we meet and associate with devotee, we should understand, we should not get confused with their external behavior and activity. Oh, I'm not going to hear this person because this person has this thing. No, that's not. What is the inherent? The inherent current is bhakti. This person is also trying to serve Krishna. How can I get on board? And that's the point here. Get on the boat and let the captain, row the boat, because bhakti is there. So that association will give us bhakti. And then with that bhakti, basically, Mai Mam Sa Upasita, the devotee will give us the process. That's what it basically means. Mai Mam Sa Upasita, devotee will give us the process. Srila Prabhupada give us the process. That get up in the morning, chant your round, 16 rounds of the chanting, do DT worship, right? So he gave us the process. That process was coming, from our lineage, from our disciplic succession, but he made some adjustment for our benefit. So that's what devotee will do. A devotee will adjust, looking at our stage where we are in, he will do some adjustment. And then what that does, Ansa bindate padam. Ansa means make it easy. Make it easy. So we just heard, we read that in Kali Yuga, bhakti is very, very difficult. But pure devotee, what he will do? He will make it easy. He will make it easier for us. So that's, the benefit of taking the association. And how we should take the association. We should have some faith. We should have nistha. And association should not be on external basis, but it should be on the basis that there is inherent desire to help me. And then, the process will come. And with that process, the overall bhakti will become easy. So in this age of Kali, bhakti process will be made easy in association of devotee. That is why it's been said, sadhu sangha sarva shastra kahe, law mat sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoye. In Kali Yuga, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. That's the element. So here is another beautiful point that I want to make, is that what should be the mood? The mood should be that karm chitan brahmano sa guru meva eva abhigacchati. Karm chitan brahmano sa guru meva adhigacchati. So this is basically applying to the spiritual master or senior devotee, Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru is also our spiritual master, not Diksha Guru, but Siksha Guru. So when we approach senior devotee, in this case, a devotee who is really inspiring you a lot, the thing is that the first point, the first mood, the first element is that I do not know anything. And you can go back and look at the, past time of Sanatana Goswami meeting with Mahaprabhu. I do not know anything. And then the second one is that Sa Guru Meva Eva Adhigacchati. If I do not know anything, then I can come and take. In that stage, or the point I was trying to make is that once we have realized that I do not know anything, in that stage, one can surrender. And when we surrender to our spiritual master or to our, Siksha Guru, we should have this faith that the ignorance that I have is not going to be expelled by my endeavor also. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata means, it's my good fortune that I have met, my spiritual master or my Siksha Guru, but without his mercy, this ignorance is not going to be expelled. So these are the two elements, mentioned here, that I do not know. That gives humility, that gives the surrender, that gives the basically strength to our relationship. And then with that, we have to continue we have to continue serving and taking the association with the mood that without his mercy, I cannot cross over. I cannot cross over this ignorance, this ocean of misery, the ocean of ignorance. So that's how basically we can take the association, and things can be summarized in these two broad statements. So association means we have to take association. Of course, we have to take association for our advancement. But at the same time, please do not forget. It's humility. Most of the time, devotee think that I'm not qualified. But please never think like that. You also start giving your associations to others. So if we present that in a very simplified way, 50% of the work, the task is that we very sincerely, in a good mood, take association. And 50% of our responsibility, or 50% of the task, is that we give association to others. And I wanted to bring some more kind of facts, some of the Prabhupada statement, but I just want to summarize. Prabhupada very clearly said that bhakti doing for our own benefit is also a sin. It's also non-different than being too much focused on myself. In the beginning stage, while we are not very Krishna conscious, in order for us to come to the point or to dedicate ourselves to this process, we have to do bhakti in a way that seems like we are doing it for ourselves. But at some point, it has to go beyond ourselves. It has to be done for paropkara, for the welfare of the other people. And that's what we see in the life of our Acharya. So wherever we are, we have to practice it. We have faults. We know that we have the faults, but don't worry too much. We have these restrictions. I have that restrictions. I have that restrictions. Yes. And that will continue. It's not going to get a stop. Whatever problem we have today, the same problem will manifest 10 years down the line in different form. There is never, and there will be never, that time when we'll have no problem and then we'll be 100% dedicated to preach and give our associations to others. That time is never going to come. This is not how this material world is designed. So whatever stage, wherever we are, whatever degree of consciousness we have, we should spread our arms and we should try to give your association. Your association is also very powerful. You are chanting the name of Krishna. You have faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You associate with Krishna. So don't think yourself so ordinary. Yes, we have to. That's humility. But when it comes to give your association to others, be bold about it. Prabhupada said once that when you see somebody from outside, and if you have the certificate of Bhakti Sastri, you very strongly say that, hey, I'm Bhakti Sastri from Vedic, tradition. In the line of Srila Prabhupada, in the line of, Mahaprabhu. I'm Bhakti Sastri in the lineage of Mahaprabhu. I have completed ISKCON disciple course in the lineage of, Mahaprabhu. These things are big. These things are not ordinary, because you have done it. You have understood it. So that's what it is. Don't underestimate yourself. Rather, come to the point and expand yourself and give your association to others. And here I'm citing a very beautiful picture. You can see here one devotee, talking, preaching about, how he's giving associations to the person who has no knowledge about Krishna consciousness. So that's what we have. An association, when I'm talking here, please don't take it one way that, how I have to take the association. Yes, we have to take the association. At the same time, we have to give association to others. Wherever we are, we have to expand ourselves. So here is another beautiful example how the whole Krishna consciousness process, how the mercy in this age of Kali, and this light itself, if we talk, it will basically take a lot of time. But how Krishna consciousness was brought to us in a very simple and a very simplified way. Still, we are not in the age of Kali, we are not able to take it. Still, there are so many disturbance and distraction. So the very first, Krishna came as Ved Vyas, and he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam for the age of Kali in that picture, the first picture, in a very, very simplified way. Narad Muni came and said, in the second picture, he came and said that write something in a very simple way. And I know, as we know, that Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but extensive descriptions of the Vedanta Sutra. That's what we know, right? Vedanta Sutra has been, expanded and presented in a very, very simple. So when we read the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, oh, the Sanskrit word is very, very difficult. But if you go to the Vedanta Sutras, what are the Vedanta Sutras? Basically Vedanta Sutra is kind of, a sugar candy. It's all the sweetness of the sugar is crunch, and made sweet. Now somebody has to come and, dilute it. So Srimad Bhagavatam is basically presented by Vyasdev for us, for the age of Kali, to understand Uttama Sloka, the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And not only there, Mahaprabhu personally, who is none different than Krishna, who came and lived the life of a devotee, lived practically presented the teaching of Bhagavatam personally. What he did, Mahaprabhu didn't write much. All he did is that by his example, he presented that how a devotee should live. And not only there, see his divine Prabhupada, he came and he even wrote a very simple, very simplified purport, made completely easy for us to take the process. Anybody can approach these scriptures and understand the science of Krishna consciousness. So this is the mercy of devotee. This is the mercy of devotees, how they have thought for us, and they have over the time made the things very, 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 very easy for this age of Kali. So that is why once we have the opportunity to practice the Krishna consciousness in the disciplic succession of Mahaprabhu, we should feel super fortunate. It's not ordinary thing, because we have so many benefits of being part of this lineage. So with that, I'll move to the next slide. I'm kind of running a little bit late. So this slide is basically summarizing, and I'm citing the verse here from Chaitanya Charitamrita that says that Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Haya Sadhu Sangha Krishna Prema Janma Teno Punya Mukhayanga. So this verse teaches us that the root cause of devotional service to Lord Krishna is association with advanced devotees. Even when one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, association with devotee is still most essential. Okay, so this verse is teaching us that number one, the root cause of devotional service of Lord Sri Krishna is association with advanced devotees. But once the bhakti is awakened, then association of the devotees is still required, is still needed. And here, I'm kind of summarizing that in the beginning, when we are trying to learn the Krishna consciousness, we take the association of the devotee to receive bhakti. But over the time, once we grow in our Krishna consciousness, then we need association of devotee to release the taste of devotion. So it doesn't matter wherever we are in our stage of bhakti, the association of the devotee will be always, always required. And then I am showing you a very beautiful picture here that His divine grace, just from one person. See, the whole globe is Krishna consciousness. In the purport of Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse number 32, Srila Prabhupada is writing, a fire is kindled from wood by another fire. A fire is kindled from wood. Please, that's the, that's the word to be noted. A fire is kindled from wood by another fire. The divine consciousness of the man can similarly be kindled by another divine person. So likewise, a candle can lit the fire in a wood. Similarly, by association of a devotee, the bhakti spreads. The bhakti will continue spreading. So that's the basically instruction here sages are giving us, that all of us become that fire, and continue lighting the wood, continue lighting the, and giving the light to the people who are in ignorance, and who densely and urgently and very seriously need Krishna consciousness in this age of Kali. So take association, and please give your association. With that, I would like to conclude here. If there is any last minute comments or feedback or anything, we'll just do for a minute or so, and then we'll adjourn. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your association. Hari Bol. Okay, so if there is nothing, then I think we can adjourn here. Anybody have anything? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Mataji.
So thank you first of all, thank you for your wonderful discussion. I just wanted to clarify one thing, like sometimes we see that maybe a devotee is in a situation that there is no local temple, or maybe no devotees around that devotee. So in that situation, how should that devotee take the association of others, or what should be the approach of that devotee?
So Mataji, today is the time of social media and internet and so many things. The first thing is that the first and foremost association is reading Prabhupada's book. If we are in an isolated place and we do not have association, physical association of the devotees there, then reading Prabhupada's book, we are getting direct association of Srila Prabhupada. That's number one. Number two is that we should manifest the environment to get the association. So if I and just to make the point, I like St. Louis much better than Dallas. Now in Dallas, every week there are so many sannyasis are coming. So many, big Maharaj comes, and I had opportunity to see almost everybody there, personally talk to them, invite them, and all of that. But still, I felt that this was not something that is really I should be doing. Rather, I personally like going to the place where there are not many people Krishna conscious, and then invite Maharaj and other big personality there, and preach. and get your association and give other association. So if you are in a place and if you have this firm, conviction that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and eternally I have to serve Him, then you start doing the things so that you can take the association, which means, start, inviting senior devotees there. You preach, and somebody after 2 or 3 years will become a senior serious devotee, not senior but serious devotee, and you start associating with them. So if you do not have environment, you create it. And when Prabhupada came, such an exalted devotee, not like that we will become like Prabhupada, but just to make the point, when he came, what he saw, nothing around him, but then he created, and later he started respecting some of his disciples, and he was calling Maharaj this, Maharaj that, like that. So just to make the point that we have to create the environment where we can take association and give association to others. So these are some of the things I think we can do. If you invite, I'm sure that you would know so many other devotees. And it doesn't have to be Maharaji. Somebody who is senior who can come and do some Krishna Katha, invite them to come. Prabhu, please come and do Krishna Katha to our congregation. And through that we get association and others get association too. So some of these things I think is practical and you can do.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare. Does it answer, Mataji, what you were asking or not?
Yes, Prabhuji, it is inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So main thing that I wanted to make is that create it. You are now powerful, trained devotee. So somehow or other, if our job gives a situation and we have to go to a place where there is nobody, and I know some of the devotee, I know some of them, they are my friends. They just decided to go somewhere, there was nobody, and then they set up everything. They set everything up. And one of the very simple example I can give is Gopal Hari Prabhu, who gave the lecture, American devotee.
Yes.
Younger brother of Radhika Raman Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah. He's professor in a town where he doesn't have temple or anything like that. But he bought a church and he's preaching and he's doing Sunday feast and everything. And he asked me that, Prabhu, please come one day. We want to do some program. So he created it. And now he's saying that, yeah, we have so many people who come for Sunday feast. Likewise, in San Antonio, some of the devotee, I know Vijay Prabhu, Ram Vijay Prabhu, who is part of the Sadhu Sangha. I mean, those places, some of the devotee from the Gujarati background, they had no temple, nothing, but they had their business, their work there. Now they have created very beautiful environment. Now, so many devotees are going there. Likewise, we are expanding. Prabhupada started few temples, 108 temples. Now we have 600 centers all over the globe because devotees are, going and creating. So even I, wherever opportunity is given, we should just create the environment for promoting the Krishna consciousness. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Is there anything else? Okay, if there is nothing, then we will have Vaishnava Pranams. Vansh kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evasya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Symbol Bhaktavind ki jai, Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, His Divine Grace Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavvrind ki jai, Nitai Gaur Prem Nandi, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to everybody.
Prabhu, I think there is one question in the chat window.
Oh, there is one. You put, Prabhu. Yeah. So this, yeah, I think I had given once a presentation in a temple also. Prabhu is asking, please elaborate if you can, or humbleness in modern or material world and bhakti in a spiritual language. Yeah. So Prabhu, I think his question is about humbleness, as I understand. Right, Prabhu? Siddhaya Prabhu, are you there? Hare Krishna, Siddhaya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, that is correct. Just I'm thinking when you go to any business world or any kind of
Yeah,
office
yeah,
environment where you will see a person with humbleness
yeah,
is similar to a person with bhakti in the association of say satsang in a spiritual world.
yeah,
So I'm just comparing how we learn in day-to-day life from seniors or anyone. So if you are
yeah,
being humble and then you receive a good knowledge from others, whether it is in the advancement of your career or in a good life, or in the same way as in the spiritual world, bhakti. Bhakti
yeah.
helps you, okay, you surrender to that leader or the guru and then receive the divine principles or whatever it may be. So that's how I see based on your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. So this humbleness, I think once we had, I had in fact given a presentation on this topic in our temple, and I didn't do a PowerPoint presentation, but I had really very technically given, of course, after my study and all of that, what is the humbleness? And it was, I know after the lecture I felt that the message was not strongly going across, because I didn't really felt that everybody understood the point that I made. And that also helped me, inspired me to basically come up with this PowerPoint thing, because when devotee can see, they can understand more. So humility, sometimes, humility and weakness are two different things. Sometimes we think that staying quiet and staying weak and just saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir is humility, but that's not the humility at all. So so once I think we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and I'm sure in in second chapter it will come. There is a topic where we'll discuss technically what's the humility is. But if you summarize in the essence, humility really is basically thinking that I'm not this body and depending fully on the Krishna consciousness. That's the real humility. If you just put in one sentence, humility means thinking that I'm not this body. When I say I'm not this body, means I'm not enjoying these senses. The sense enjoyment propensity, or the enjoyment propensity that we have in the material world, that should be cut. Whatever is making me enjoy and making me feel, that this is I who is enjoying it. So that should be cut, and then having full dependence on Krishna. These are the two very concise statement about humility. Number one, I'm not this body, I'm not the sense enjoyer, I have nothing, and number two, trying to depend on Krishna. Okay, so these are the two things. And if you really look at these two things, it has nothing to do how you practice in the material world and how you practice in the spiritual world, because these two things are not going to come across in our dealing in the material world also. If I, because, Prabhupada was extremely humble, and he did all types of things. Devotees today, they are going and preaching into the corporate world, they are going and preaching, and they are very humble. So how it's all happening? Because they truly understand what's the definition of humility. So we'll basically, I had basically talked about this, that there is sararic humility, then there is mansik humility. So sometimes we get confused, and later, Prabhu, we'll talk about that. Thank you for raising that. But for now, at least we can understand that humility is not the weakness. Humility is not the weakness of our heart or weakness of anything. It's a strength. It's a strength.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry, it was too late by the time I posted the message.
No, but thank you. Thank you so much for your continuous participation. I'm sure I'm getting a lot out of your association. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And we'll adjourn here today. Dhanavad pranams to everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari Mataji, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol,
Hare
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hari
Dhanyavad.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Prabhu. Though I'm going to stop now, okay?
Super.
Hari Bol.